It is with great pleasure that I introduce today's commencement speaker. We are honored to welcome distinguished graduates of California State University Dominguez Hills back to campus to speak at our commencement ceremonies. We hope that even as you celebrate your own accomplishments and milestones, the words and deeds of these notable Toro alumni will inspire you to continue pursuing your own unique paths to success. Your commencement speaker today is Franco Vega, a fellow Toro and founder and CEO of the Right Way Foundation, a nonprofit organization serving the needs of at-risk and foster youth in Los Angeles County. Like many of the youth he now serves, Mr. Vega had a traumatic upbringing. By the age of 15, he'd lost his father to alcoholism and his mother to cancer. After high school, Mr. Vega joined the U.S. Army, receiving an honorable discharge in 1995. 5 years later, he walked the stage to receive his BA in Human Services from CSUDH. For nearly 3 decades, Mr. Vega has worked in employment services for at-risk and foster youth, starting as a teacher at the Department of Children and Family Services. Mr. Vega also created an employment center on Skid Row at the Midnight Mission, where he worked with recovering addicts and the unhoused population. In 2011, Mr. Vega created the Right Way Foundation, which integrates mental health and employment services with financial literacy for transition-age foster youth. Mr. Vega is also a father of 4, a devoted Little League baseball coach, a former county commissioner for District 2, and is preparing to return to school to get his master's degree in social work. Please join me in welcoming a fellow Toro, Franco Vega.
Well, thank you, sir, for that warm introduction. Just a correction, I'm still a county commissioner representing children and families in the 2nd District, selected by our awesome Supervisor Holly Mitchell. So I'm excited to be here. First, I want to thank Dr. Parham and his lovely wife. I know a little bit about leadership because I was in the Army, and I can see that this is a well-oiled machine. And it's from your great leadership. I'm looking at all the beautiful deans and directors here. And so it really means the world to me because when I crossed the stage in 2000, this was different. It didn't look the same. I'm kind of jealous. I want to thank Dr. Kim for being an awesome friend of the foundation. So let me break down my bio in the story format for you guys so you guys get a better understanding of who I am. You know, all I ask for you guys is just to open up your heart, open up your mind, and open up your ears for a couple of minutes just to let me in. Is that okay? Thank you. I am Franco Vega, as he said. I'm a father of 4. I have my oldest daughter is 29. She graduated from the University of Kentucky. Boo. And then I have a 24-year-old. She's going to school in Georgia at Kennesaw State. She wasn't too cool to make it here, so it's okay. I have an awesome 15-year-old son who's in one of the suites. He's attending Uni High. And then I have my beautiful Bella, 7-year-old, who's with them in the suite right now. And then I have a beautiful wife named Karen, who I've been with for over 20 years. When you see her, give her all the credit. Ask her, how did she do it, you know? That's my family tree, but let me start off where I come from. Both of my parents migrated from Honduras in the mid-'60s. Yeah, Central America in the house, all right. Okay. And I know you're thinking that he sounds African-American, too, at the same time. And so, sadly, as he mentioned, I did lose my parents at a young age, and I do have African-American in my family. However, I was fostered by an African-American family when my mother and dad died. They took me in, and I was supervised through probation and DCFS. Long story, but we won't talk about that today. But I always tell the joke that it was a culture shock when I moved in with my new family. I went from horchata to Kool-Aid overnight. You know. I always like to give a little family background about myself when I speak in front of large crowds, because you guys should understand who you guys are listening to, you know, so thank you for letting me in. As they mentioned, I did attend this university from 1996 to 2000. I was just like all you guys. I was eager during graduation. I want you guys to remember this one thing right now, and give yourself a round of applause because you got to celebrate yourself. This is a major accomplishment. You had a goal at first, then you came up with a plan, then you executed it, and now you are here. Now let's talk about my journey and what this great University of Higher Learning led me. I can honestly say I wouldn't be a CEO and I wouldn't be a community activist or community leader if I didn't attend Dominguez Hills. So while I was attending this university, as he mentioned earlier, I started to work in Watts, and I created a business development center with the city of Los Angeles. And I got that up and running, and then I went over to Boyle Heights to do the same thing. And after several years, I was looking for a new challenge, and that's where I ended up on Skid Row, and I created the only employment center at the world-famous Midnight Mission. And as I witnessed and learned from a lot of executive directors in 2011, I said it's time to do my own thing, and I started the Right Way Foundation. The Right Way Foundation, we have 3 centers now. We're in Long Beach, we're in Inglewood, and the Inglewood Center is a confidential, top secret location because we service victims of sex trafficking from the foster care system, and then we are housed in the heart of South Central at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall. And so we operate at about a $3 million budget a year, and we have served over 850 foster youth since 2011, and we provide, thank you. And we provide housing for 60 youth currently. We provide them with therapy, and then we solidify our mission with getting them a job simultaneously, and it's all under one roof. And it's a unique model that I came up with the help of professors from this university. And let me talk briefly about the model that we use. Our motto is we're culturally competent. We believe if you can't reach a kid, you can't teach a kid. So that's priority number 1. The second one is we're healing-centered, trauma responsive, and we focus on the well-being. You know how it feels to be in a system, raised by a system and not a family? There's no love. We didn't say it's the people, the social workers, because the social workers are great, but it's still a system. And so we have to work on the well-being, and we have to convince our kids it's not their fault, And so sadly, I did lose my mom to cancer and my dad to drugs, but I never let that slow me down. This is where I say I help my youth take their pain to power. We feed off our trauma, meaning in a positive way. I don't let my trauma dictate me. So I recognized at a young age that I needed to follow someone. I knew I was a copycat, and I'm gonna say that again. I knew I was a copycat, but I copied the right cat. Mentors are very important in life that society doesn't promote enough. My first mentor was my high school coach, Coach Ito. He never knew I was an orphan. He took me under his wings. He gave me the leadership and the love that I needed, similar to a father figure, while he was still a tough coach. My next mentor was a guy by the name of Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson hired me and started my career serving foster youth. He created a Rites of Passage program in partnership with Department of Children and Family Services, and this program was recognized all across the country and England. And our philosophy at Rites of Passage was every boy needs a father, or needs to be fathered, not fathers. Let me say that again. Every boy needs to be fathered, not fathers. And he preached that manhood and womanhood is a social function. So it's how you behave in life and how you give back to your community dictates what kind of man and woman you are. And I'm gonna give you a good example, and hopefully you can see this. We all have that friend who's living at their mama's house or in their mama's garage. They're older, they're playing PlayStation all day, drinking and getting high. Okay, I know, maybe we don't know that, but they're doing that, and they're older guys. Those are not men, those are professional teenagers. So that's our motto within Rites of Passage. Sadly, he passed away over 2 decades ago, and I follow his teachings to this day. My last mentor, who I watch closely, and he doesn't even know he's my mentor, and that's what I mean by being a copycat. You have to follow the right cat. And this guy He's my ex-boss for the city of LA. We now do business together, and he throws me grants and contracts my way, but I still follow his style, how he maneuvers in the political arena and community events. And once again, he doesn't even know he's my mentor. I do call him for advice from everything from staffing issues to asking him, should I partner with certain folks in the community? And he's truthful, which I really appreciate, and he's just awesome. So one thing I want to say again is, please seek a person in your career that you want to master so they can mentor you. Please seek out someone in the career you want to go on and ask them to mentor you. And no matter what stage you at or in your life, you can always use a mentor. I'm about to tell you something. I'm 50 years old and I still have a mentor. 50, you know? I'm sorry if someone's older than me, but I still think that's old, you know? Everything you learned from this university, use it. Similar to how a construction worker would use a hammer and drill on their site, you know, use the training, continue to network. I know our student body president said you might not see fellow students any longer, but I'm gonna stress to you, keep those friendships going, keep that networking going, because the studies have shown that Toros go on to be powerful people. We have a beautiful lady who runs the city of LA who graduated from this university, Mayor Bass. So when you become powerful, make sure you take care of fellow Toro. And I'm gonna start to wrap up my speech because we have to move on to the pinning ceremony. And some of you guys in the audience came from adversity with little or no support, and some of you have came from a lot of support, because I can see it in the audience. You have your family here. But remember this, you guys have accomplished something today that a lot of folks haven't. Some folks have tried but didn't finish, but not you. Once again, I say it, you guys had a goal, you created a plan, you executed, and now here's the finished product. You did it, and I want to leave you with this final message. If you ever get lost, always come home to Dominguez Hills, and the folks here will help you find your way back. If you come from trauma similar to my story, don't let your trauma define you. Be proud of yourself. Party hard tonight, but not too hard. And get to work tomorrow to make sure your community is better from everyone. Peace, God bless. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Go Toros. Woo. All right, here go the pinning ceremony. Now, it gives me great pleasure and pride to be representing the thousands of Toro alumni around the world. As soon-to-be graduate of California State University, Dominguez Hill, you will join the enormous network of individuals who are educated from this great university, which is now over 110,000 alumni worldwide. To be a Toro alum is special. It comes with tremendous pride, but also significant responsibilities. We are ambassadors of our alma mater. We have an obligation to help advance our academic mission for future generations and uphold the traditions of our university. I ask that you join me by taking part in a very special tradition that brings us all together, the alumni pinning ceremony. So please remove the pin that is stapled to your program you received after you checked in. So please, some of you guys already pinned it on. That's what I'm talking about. Initiative, you know, initiative. The pin is a symbol transitioning you from a student to an alum of California State University, Dominguez Hills. It signifies your achievements as a student here. Students, please stand. Now, please pin yourself or your fellow Toro and wear this alumni pin with Toro pride. Congratulations, everyone.
Please give Franco Vega another round of applause, our speaker. You may be seated, graduates.